Israel Defense Forces, IDF, has confirmed that the Middle East country soldiers carried out massive airstrikes on multiple locations in Yemen capital of Sanaa on Sunday, while Nasruddin Amer, the chairman of Yemen's Saba news agency and the vice president of the media authority of Ansar Allah Movement that has Houthis group as one of its organizations, said the air defenses were able to thwart the majority of the Israeli attacks and confronted several of its combat formations, which he said forced Israeli soldiers to retreat, with the Houthis fighters using locally manufactured air defense systems. According to Israel Defense Force, multiple military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime in Sanaa, Yemen, including a military site in which the presidency palace is located, the Adar and Hazaz power plants, and a site for storing fuel, all used for the military activity of the Houthi regime. These strikes were carried out in response to repeated Houthi attacks on Israel with missiles and UAVs. The Houthis, backed by Iran, continue to exploit civilian infrastructure for terror purposes. News agencies reported that Israel launched the airstrikes in Yemen's capital Sanaa, hitting areas near the presidential complex and missile bases, with additional strikes reported in Hodeidah. It was gathered that Israel carried out the strikes in response to days of attempted Houthi drone and ballistic missile attack against Israel. Local media reported with a photograph showing the Israel Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, Defense Minister, Katz, and IDF Chief, Ansar Amer at the Israeli Air Force Command Center in Tel Aviv, observing today's strikes on Yemen capital on a military facility near the presidential palace, a fuel depot, and 2 power stations. Israeli airstrikes hit Yemen's capital on Sunday, just days after the Houthi rebels fired a missile toward Israel that its military described as the first cluster bomb the rebels had fired at it since 2023. The rebels' Al Masirah satellite television reported a strike on an oil company, and video on social media showed a fireball erupting there. Nasruddin Amer, deputy head of Ansar Allah's, Houthis, media authority and chairman of Yemen's Saba news agency, said Yemeni air defenses intercepted most of the Israeli air raids, forcing several formations to withdraw. He stressed that Yemen's military operations in support of Gaza will continue until the aggression ends and the blockade is lifted. Amer dismissed Israel's targeting of a civilian fuel station in Sanaa as an act of barbarism and bankruptcy, with no impact on military capabilities, warning it will only trigger further escalation. In quotes, he said, "Targeting a civilian fuel station on a main street will have no impact on military operations. Thanks to God, the air defenses were able to thwart the majority of the Zionist aggression and confront several of its combat formations, forcing them to retreat, using locally manufactured air defense systems. Our military operations in support of Gaza will not cease, God willing, except with the cessation of the aggression and the lifting of the siege on it. Targeting a civilian fuel station on a main street will certainly have no impact on the military operations. Rather, a young man from Delta State in the oil-rich Niger Delta region in Nigeria has been arrested after he conspired with his friend to fake a kidnapping to get money from his family in order to be able to travel abroad. The young man was seen in a video the alleged kidnapper sent to his family, threatened to be killed with a cutlass placed on his neck by the suspected fake kidnapper, who is also a native and indigene of Delta State but faked his voice to sound like an Hausa Fulani man from northern Nigeria. According to one of the popular human rights activists against insecurity in the West Africa country, Harrison Gwamnashu, the 2 suspects were arrested inside the bush after intelligence gathering indicated that the kidnapping was not genuine, adding that they were not mobilized by Senator Ned Munir Nwoko, the senator representing Delta North Senatorial Zone, who had said in a press statement that the father of the supposed victim, together with 2 members of the Idemuje Ugboko community, reached out to me. I also spoke with the victim's brothers, as well as the police in Isale, Uku and Asaba. In addition, I contacted and mobilized the Idemuje Ugboko vigilante group and held discussions with my police contacts in Saba, giving clear instructions to track the kidnappers and ensure the safe rescue of the victim. Throughout the operation, I received tracking updates and was kept informed of the rescue movements from Saba to Uku until the eventual arrests were made. In an earlier post, Harrison Gwamdashu had said that, for clarity, I do not know who he claims he mobilized for a rescue mission. I also do not know what he meant by saying he mobilized the police and local vigilantes. I personally fueled 3 vehicles, paid other logistics for the operation he's claiming he mobilized. According to the popular human rights and life defender, Harrison Gwamdashu, on Sunday the 16th of August 2025, an alarm was raised that a man had been kidnapped at Onitsha Ugbo, Antioch North local government area, Delta State. Immediately, the police special anti-kidnapping and cyber crime unit Saba, led by the OC, swung into action working tirelessly with a team of military officers from 63 Brigade Saba, the Nigeria Forest Security Service, NFSS, and Delta State Government House Trackers, advanced to Uku to rescue the alleged victim. After hours of coordinated intelligence gathering, it was discovered that the incident was not a genuine abduction but a case of self-kidnapping. The location was secured, and the 2 suspects behind the act were arrested and are now in custody. We sincerely thank the officers and men of the 63 Brigade Saba, the OC and officers of the Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cyber Crime Unit and the NFSS for their resilience, sacrifice, and dedication to keeping our communities safe. Special appreciation also goes to His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oberevwori, Executive Governor of Delta State, for standing firmly behind security operations. As we commend these gallant men and women, we must also stress the need for greater support. The security teams involved in this operation need stronger logistics, equipment, and resources to sustain their work and extend their coverage across. Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has dismissed 8 members of the state special vigilante group known as Aganekemba after the sacked security operatives were seen in a now viral video allegedly assaulting a female National Youth Service Corps, NYSC member, Jennifer Elabor, to the level of complete nakedness after they torn her clothes and continued assaulting her even when they observed during the process nothing more was covering any part of her body. This, the dismissed vigilantes did after they allegedly chased some young men on motorcycles they claimed were members of a secret cult to the victim's compound at Oba community in Idemili South local government area of Anambra State on July 23, 2025. According to the state television station, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, the Anambra State Government, through the Aganekemba Security Command, has dismissed 8 of her operatives for their involvement in the brutal assault and public stripping of a corps member, Miss Jennifer Elabor. The dismissed operatives will be handed over to the police for immediate prosecution. Speaking at the agency headquarters in Awka, the Special Advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on Community Security, Mr. Kenemikai, said the state government acted swiftly after receiving reports that the operatives, while in pursuit of suspected cultists on July 23, 2025 assaulted corps members, an action which he described as totally outside the mandate of the agency and utterly condemnable. Mr. Amikai stressed that the Soludo administration will not tolerate any form of unprofessionalism, brutality, or abuse of office by security operatives, assuring that any officer found guilty of misconduct will face immediate dismissal and prosecution. He disclosed that despite pleas from the victim's family and NYSC officials not to prolong prosecution for damaging the identity of the people involved, the Anambra State Government insisted on full investigation and accountability to serve as deterrence. The Special Advisor further revealed that the agency has already settled all medical bills of the corps member, replaced damaged valuables such as laptops and phones, and tendered a public apology to the victim, her family, NYSC, and the general public. Mr. Amikai reiterated the government's resolve to reform community security operations in the state, emphasizing that Governor Soludo's administration is committed to upholding professionalism, accountability, and respect for human rights in all security engagements. He assured that the incident will be used as a turning point to strengthen discipline and restore public trust in the Aganekemba outfit. Meanwhile, the Anambra State Police Command has condemned in strong terms the alleged assault on a female member of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, in Oba, Idemili South local government area of the state. The assault was reportedly carried out by vigilante operatives. Following the incident, the suspects involved have been identified. The command, however, notes that the alleged victim's unavailability has temporarily stalled the ongoing investigative process. Meanwhile, the command has reiterated that assault in any form remains a criminal offense under the Nigerian law and reserves the right to take necessary legal action to
Ansar Allah Movement, bringing you the news in a more digital way.